It's time for your June 2022 real estate market update, and boy, do we have an update for you.
So it has been a very interesting few days in the real estate market.
We are like, what the hell?
Yeah, like that TikTok. What the hell? Or the one that goes, oh
No. Yeah, we don't want this. Well, we do and we don't, I guess. What do we got?
All right, so we will get back to why it's been a little, what would you call that? Uneasy?
Uncertain?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that, but for now, let's take a look at our normal numbers.
Current numbers,
yes. Yeah. Compared to last year, the new listings, we are up by just a smidge. So we're still seeing about the same number of properties being listed.
Yep.
We had 30,679 listings on the market through May of this year.
But we are down on pending sales, 24,587, which is a 9.8% down mark. That's 10%. Less homes under contract.
Right. Yeah. And then also we're down on closed sales. So we went from 24,384 last year to 22,879, and that is a decrease of 6.2% in closed sales through this time last year.
And despite all of that, our average sales price is still going up at $507,419, which is a 17% increase.
So what we always look at is the percent of list price to sales price.
Yes,
so
what are we still getting?
Yes, so that's how much more a buyer is typically paying above the list price. So this time last year, we were right around 100.8%, so just over list price. And now we are at 102.6%.
Yeah, so if we're selling a $300,000 house, we're getting 102%. We're getting 6% above that 300,000 mark.
The other thing that we look at is the average days until a house goes under contract.
What do we got on that?
So that really hasn't changed much. That's been super stable in
What's
our
the
market. It has gone from 22 days last year to 20 days this year.
Okay.
Let's get to what everybody is asking us about over the last
the
week.
big news announcement that's happened.
Yes. So what in the world happened with interest rates?
It went up in a single day, the largest number since 1994.
Right.
They did almost a full point increase, but 3/4 of a point increase.
Yes.
0.75% increase.
Yes. So let's take a look at what they had predicted versus what happened.
Okay.
Because we go to our resources and experts to say, hey, what's going to happen with the interest rates this year?
We don't have a crystal ball, but we're trying to always see what the trends are going towards.
Yeah, so if you look at what the mortgage rates were predicted to be throughout the year last year, no one was predicting this big of an increase.
So the averages going from 2022 and into 2023 was supposed to be around 5.1% interest.
Yes.
And we were trending towards that until this big Fed rate hike announcement.
Yeah.
So now what do we got?
One of the reasons we have to help people understand why is this happening. A big reason why the interest rates are going up is because they are trying to control inflation. Just the normal cost of living.
Yeah, prices are going up on everything, in case you haven't noticed.
And so in order to control inflation, they do increase rates so that buyers have basically less credit available. And that controls how much people can pay for an item, which brings prices down.
Yep.
So in the end, it will be a benefit for the market.
Yeah.
It also it should help inventory levels for buyers. And even though they will be paying more in an interest rate, they should have more options to choose from in the market over the next few coming months.
Hopefully. So let's go ahead and talk about what a recession is and why all these changes are going on. So the National Bureau of Economic Research defines a recession as a significant decline in economic activity spread across the economy that lasts for more than a few months.
All these changes that they're making with the interest rates are supposed to be, one, control inflation, but also to keep our recession from getting too bad. Yeah. So people get confused about recessions because they equate the recession to when we had that huge housing crisis in 2008.
2008. Yeah, people really think that that's what it means to be in a recession, but that was kind of a isolated incident.
Yes. So a recession does not necessarily mean that we are going to have a
housing crisis. Right.
And so over the last 6 recessions,
Mm-hmm.
we can pull that graph up, it shows that home values actually did not decline in
During the
every single
recession.
recession. So we had 2 recessions where home prices did decline. That was that 2008 recession that we all know was terrible. And then there was another decline, a very small decline in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look historically, recession does not equal housing value decreases.
Correct. So what you should be taking out of that if you're a buyer is that just because the interest rates are going up doesn't mean that the value of homes or the prices of homes is going to take some drastic plunge. So we could see, especially in the Atlanta market where we have growth, still a steady
Right.
just like we said earlier for our market update, that
Right.
the prices are still going to incrementally increase.
Yes. So they may not increase at the rapid rate they have been.
Right. It might be a slower rate.
But we're not expecting any major home value decreases.
Right.
Okay, so looking back at the mortgage rate, because we're back on this mortgage rate, we were literally in the mid 5s 10 days ago
Yeah.
for an interest rate. Now we're looking at closer to low 6s, 6.25 to 6.5.
Real quick, a month
Yep.
ago, we were around the 4s.
Yeah, yeah.
So within 2 months, we've gone from the 4s to the 6s.
Yes. But looking at that historically, you and I bought our first house
Yep.
in 2003.
I don't remember what the interest rate was.
It was 6.25.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And so even though we're at 6.25, if we look historically, let's look back at the last 5
Okay.
decades, and we can see that historically, even a rate at 6.25 is a considerably lower rate than
Right.
what we've seen in the past.
Right.
So in the 70s, we were looking at an average around 8.8. In the 80s, we were looking at an average of 12.7. And then the 90s, 8% even.
But what people's memories go back is not that far. Usually they go back to the 2010s when we were in the 3s.
Right.
And they assume that that's what it's always going to be like. And that just
Yes.
was a phenomenally low rate. So honestly, the 6% rate is pretty average and normal.
Yes, very average. It's actually a great rate compared to history.
Correct.
So if you are a buyer in today's market, we do expect that this rate is going to keep going up.
Yeah, you might want to be happy about that it's in the 6s right now and buy now before it possibly goes into the 7s.
Yes, so from what we are hearing, the feds are expected to announce another rate increase in July, which we'll bring you that information as soon as we have it.
Yep, we'll keep an eye on it.
And so if you're on the fence and you think you're going to wait until the market shifts, okay, but your rate's going to be a lot higher. So I would be really careful about waiting right now in the market and make sure that if you are getting a loan, that you are getting the best rate possible. So I would jump on that right now. Give us a call.
Get locked in.
Yes, we will help you and get you on your way to homeownership. It is National Homeownership Month.
It is. Now
So-
is a good time to buy. The market's at a good place in Atlanta.
So we have put together a lot of content for you, buyer and seller libraries on our YouTube page that you can check out for sure. So thanks for joining us today. Like and subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, be sure to let us know.